Take a look at that face. That's the face of a gunman. And that other face is supposed to be one of a Democrat. Today's paper, the Belfast Telegraph, we see a photograph of Peter Robinson and Martin McGuinness. And all that says to me is we are now in a dictatorship. Stormont is no longer a democratic process, it's a dictatorship. They have said things and are doing things which they would not get away with in any other normal democratic society. Let's be clear what's going on here within this organisation and with Willie Fraser. They've tried to buy us out over the years. They've tried to buy me out over the years. But they soon realised I was not for sale. But the reason that Peter Robinson and Mark McGuinness and these people want rid of us is I served a writ on Martin McGuinness. I exposed the criminality going on in the border areas, who was involved in it. I have raised the victims issue continually. Anything that's dirty and going on, we exposed. Look at this Culholland Centre in Mullaban. The millions that has went into that place, which is European funding. They're running events which is demonising the Protestant community, demonising the UDR, demonising the police, demonising the army, and the EU's paying for it, and CRC are paying for it. But we can't say anything. No, don't use open your mouth. That's why they hate Willie Fraser. That's why they want fair closed down. Because we're sitting and we're watching what these people are doing, and we made a commitment and a promise. At one time, the DUP stood with us on that promise that we would not allow them to write the history whereby they demonised our people. But it's beyond a no doubt, the children that you've seen playing with them guns are being told that the men that used them were heroes. They were the heroes when they lay behind a hedge waiting for a man coming home from doing a day's work, and they shot him in the back, or in the back of the head. No more of these photographs of children running about centres that's been funded by Europe, or millions going into them, and them saying, oh, we didn't know this was going on. Who are they kidding? Who are they kidding? Because one of the individuals in one of the photographs is the man that runs the place. Again, they don't want you knowing that. But we were able to find that out. So whenever they tell you, oh, they didn't really know what was going on, they did. The manager of the place was standing, getting photographed with them. Now this is a meeting behind closed doors with Martin McGuinness and Peter Robinson, where they're attacking other members of the Assembly. They dictate what they want done, and if you don't do that, well then we're going to deal with you. In behind closed doors, Sinn Fein have been given the nod by people within the DUP to get rid of Fraser, to do all they can to shut that group down because they're too much of a pain in the backside. Well, they better get used to this pain, because this pain is going nowhere. We certainly are not going to be dictated to by the gunman or his companion. Whenever I first took sick, I'm now on the mend, and it didn't turn out to be what people thought it was with cancer. But I know for a fact, in a meeting with Sinn Fein and the DUP, they laughed. And a member of the DUP actually said, "There's your problem gone now, Martin." I'll say that again. Whenever they heard that I was supposed to have cancer, one of them said to Martin McGuinness, "There's your problem gone now," and laughed. There'll be no more bother out of Fraser, for he's dying. Now that's not the first thing I've been told. I've also been told that in meetings, Sinn Fein have said we need rid of these so-called victims. We need to set an agenda where the victims are controlled by the dictatorship at Stormont. Well, let me say this to you, Martin. You couldn't control us when you had the Armalite and the hood on your head. You'll certainly not control us when you have a suit and a so-called Democrat standing beside you, who as of yet, from he has come into office, has not met with ourselves. And a matter of fact, we have no interest now in meeting with this man, because he showed us how little he cared whenever we first asked for a meeting. Didn't want to meet us. Hadn't time to meet us. At that stage, he'd only time for our friend here, Marty. Take a look at that face. That's the face of a gunman. And that other face is supposed to be one of a Democrat. Well, they're spending a lot of time in misleading people. They're spending a lot of money where they think they can buy votes. They're spending money willy-nilly, except in the places where it's actually going to help. We're not really that into the whole political arena here, but we do believe in fair play and we do believe in justice. And there's people here this morning. There's one woman I'm going over to lift who is near blind. Now she needs lifted every morning of the week. At the minute we can't do it. Why? Because Martin McGuinness and them is trying to stop our funding and cut the funding office. Them people had lost, that person in particular had lost her husband and other members of her family. It's not bad enough for them that they attacked them the way they did. They're now persecuting them. We're storming. The one thing I'd say to the people who's voting this time around, are you going to vote with your heart and your conscience? Or are you just going to vote for the sake of voting? Because this thing about First Minister or Deputy First Minister, there's the two joint ministers. The two joint ministers together. And look at the headline. That's not us. That's in the Belfast Telegraph. The brutes. Now that's a fellow colleague of theirs, another politician, who they lambasted and treated like second-class citizens. Now if they do that with the ministers, what would they do with you and me? You don't exist, you don't count. And they'll come and they'll smile and they'll tell you all these things that they're going to do for you. Tell me one thing that they've done for the people of South Armagh. The other thing is, you don't have to take my word here about what's going on. Now we've been saying this for quite a while, that certainly within the executive, that the DUP and Sinn Fein have been sitting together, working out a plan, and then they walk out and they dictate that plan. You only have to listen to Alec Atwood and other members of the Assembly. They're saying what we've been saying. It's not Willie Fraser. It's the SDLP actually saying it. And members of the Unionist Party. These people are working together to close down any voice there is against what they're doing. And the only way they can do that is through dictatorship. The DUP are not prepared to listen to what we have to say. They want to close us. They want us wiped off the face of the earth. Well, it's not going to happen. We will fight them every inch of the way. And I think by stopping funding, yes, funding is important, but it is not the end all, do all.